Hello, everybody. It's me, Chucky Smith. I want to share my testimony about Afghanistan when I was stationed over there and how God showed up. And being a Christian in them kind of circumstances, to be used by God, it was a blessing. What happened is every morning and they knew I was a Christian, I would pray over each and every vehicle, even if it wasn't my squad or my company going out. I would pray for safety. I would lay hands on every Humvee, and there was probably about 5 or 6 each time that went out the gate. And God was with me, and each time everybody was coming back safe for the most part. And we traveled a route one day on our way out of town. As I prayed over the Humvees, it was our turn to go to the Marines barracks. We had to deliver some stuff. And they always picked on me for being a Christian and for praying over the vehicles and over the people and for safety. And I had 4 guys in my vehicle besides me. There's my lieutenant, and he just didn't believe in anything. There was a driver who was kind of wishy-washy, and he was one of my best friends, Shaky Jake. And we had a medic from the Navy in the back seat, and my one friend, he was a Satanist, straight out. But we all got along. And how God worked, it was just totally amazing. We left the gate that day to get the supplies up to this where the Marines were. So we're traveling through this one town, and over there I had this bazaar out, and all these people were there, and it was nice. It was just too picture perfect. It was too perfect. And we kind of knew something was up. And I'm still praying over the vehicles, and on my gunner's hatch, where I was manning the 50 caliber machine gun for an infantry assault team, I'd hung a cross I had picked up out of the chapel, and I'd always hung that, and it's like a little mason jar canning lid latch, so it barely hung there, but that's where I'd hung it. So we're going through town, and we're starting to receive some fire and some stuff like it's out of the typical and the norm for that area. But once we got closer to the Marines barracks, things started raining down, and so we took up position. Eventually we got inside the barracks, and we had a squad discussion. And they're still picking on me for being Christian and praying, and my lieutenant goes to me, he goes, "I can't believe you believe in that stuff. I don't believe in God." That's what he's telling me. He goes, I don't believe. He goes, "You still strike me as a type, and God uses all kinds of people, sir." I said, "I may not be perfect, but my God is, and he'll get us through this." So I continue to pray over the vehicles and stuff, and we got all kinds of fire coming in, and those of you that have served, you know what I'm coming from. But God totally protected us. So on our way out, we finally get released. We fight our way out, and we get out about 5 miles away from where we were, and it's quiet, which was kind of odd too. But we get to this town called Shawan, the town we came through earlier the day. Everything was boarded up, no bazaar, no people, no nothing. And I'm praying to God, and I'm just praying to God. I'm asking God, just speak your blessings upon us, keep us safe. You know, at that time I'm a little scared, a little nervous, but all right. And we get bombarded. We start to enter the town. Shots are coming down from everywhere. I was the second vehicle in line, and the gunner in front of me went down. He ducked. They just didn't even say nothing. He just ducked. So we're receiving all this fire, incoming, everything. And I'm just turning around, I'm returning fire, and I feel the presence of God. I mean, I literally felt no anxiety, which is not typical of me. I felt the angels just pick me up. They hold me up on my turret because I had to return fire. I had to do my job. I had to do what I had to do so we could all get back safe. Need not mind you, there's probably about a total of, by that time when we left, probably a total of 10 vehicles that were with us. And we're trying to get to another firefight that was 5 miles down the road where their Marines and other soldiers were pinned down. And God held me up in that terror, and a peace and a calm came over me in such a circumstance. I was able to return fire. I seen where the enemy was coming from. Communications were perfect. There was like no nervousness, no nothing. Just total peace. To experience peace in that kind of situation is all from God. All from God. So to make the long story short, if I can, we get down to where the Marines are. We get through that area. Alright, we have some damaged vehicles and stuff like that. Typical of a firefight. We're taking RPGs. We're destroying vehicles. We get through the firefight. God brought us all through. Everybody in my squad, everybody who was on that mission that day, got back to the base unharmed, unscathed. So we're looking at our Humvee when we're done. We get outside of the vehicle and it is peppered. They were using armored piercing rounds. They had never used them before. And our vehicle just looked like shredded cheese. And in the driver's window was a bullet. It didn't even mushroom like a bullet hits. It was just stuck in between double-plated glass, aimed right for the driver's head. Our buddy Shaky Jake. This is all a God thing that we even made it back alive. Praise God. It was awesome. What God can do is just awesome. And it always shared the Bible verses of what God has done in many instances. Daniel's in the lion den. Meshach, Abednego, them. God will always protect you. He doesn't necessarily take us out of the danger, but He's always with us in the danger and gets us through. So my lieutenant comes up to me the next day, and actually there's that night, he comes up to me and he goes, Smitty, he goes, I got to talk to you. I was like, oh, here we go. He goes, Smitty, he goes, I still don't believe, he goes, but you'll never be picked on again for praying. Because I used to pray over every meal, pray for safety. I didn't do it for me. I didn't do it I did it because, man, I wanted to get back home alive. And I did. Why did God do it? God had a purpose. It wasn't about me being a hero, me being a vet. It was all about God. He had a purpose for each and every person and every mission that went out that gate. He has a plan for you, and He has a plan for me. So the next day, we get a new Humvee. So I'm like, all right. I stop off at the chapel. Over by the PX, I stop off at the chapel. I'm going to grab another one of these crosses. There's none of them. They're all gone. I sit there like, man, well, I go up. I'm going to go pray over the Humvees again because I'm not going to stop. So I go up to the Humvee, and every inch of our new Humvee is plastered with these crosses. Shaky Jake's got them all over. Shaky Jake just looks at me and goes, I don't know what it was, but that saved us. And I still have the original cross. My mom's got it. And she saved it. I won't even get it back. But she still has it through the whole firefight and all the banging around in a Humvee. That thing never fell off that little piece of a hair of a canning lid jar for a latch. Not once. That's God's protection. And it's just so amazing because He doesn't take you out of the furnace. He just walks you through it, which makes you stronger. And I left Afghanistan with just the hopes and the care and the love that somebody got Jesus out of that. But to be used by God to bring this message to you on a Veterans Day, it's a privilege and an honor. And it's just so amazing because God took me out of my realm of being nervous, and you know me, I'm hyper all the time. I was just totally opposite at peace during the whole firefight, vehicles getting hit, incoming rounds where we should have died. If God wanted you to die, you'd have done it. We all have an appointed time. But it reminded me God had a purpose for each and every one. I even prayed harder after that. So I hope you all enjoy this and get the God point of view of this. And happy Veterans Day.